That smells good and yummy. Hi everyone, welcome to Sweet Bailey Acres. We're so happy that you stopped by today. If you're new to our channel, I hope you enjoy this video and want to see more. If you're returning, thank you for returning and thank you for supporting our channel. Also, the best way that you can support our channel is to hit the subscribe button. Today, I will be providing step-by-step instructions on how to turn a pumpkin by roasting it into a pumpkin pie. And let me tell y'all, this pie is yummy. My family will never go back to sugar because they absolutely love this pie. If you know someone who is gluten-free or has celiac disease, or even someone who is looking for a low-carb recipe or a healthier option with all the flavor, I encourage you to share this video with them because they will really love having this option and still being able to eat it with everyone else. Let's get started. As you can see, we got a ton of pumpkin seeds from just these 2 little pumpkins. So that's wonderful news because we can go ahead and roast these up. And if you want to know a special trick of how to get the goop off of your seeds, as well as how to roast them, and 2 recipes that I provided in our recent video, I encourage you to check that video out at the end of this video. Let's go ahead and get these on a pan and put them in the oven. I recommend, for easier cleanup, going ahead and putting some parchment paper down on your pan. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pumpkins and you're going to put the inside down on the pan. We're going to go ahead and put these in the oven and roast them on 400 degrees for 35 minutes. At that time, you also want to check and make sure that a knife can go easily into the side of the pumpkin. If it can, then your pumpkin's done. If at 35 minutes it can't do that, then you want to go ahead and cook it a little bit longer and then try again. All right, guys, the knife went in easily. It looks like they're ready to come out. Beautiful. Okay, we are going to go ahead and let them sit now for 60 minutes. Now that we have those pumpkins out of the oven, we are just going to go ahead and let them sit for about an hour and cool down. That way when you're taking the skins off, you don't burn your fingers. And a lot of times the skin will just pull right off versus trying to peel it off. And then it's even easier if you wait for it to cool down some. So while we're waiting on that to cool down, we're going to go ahead and get our pie crust started. We're going to start by putting in 2½ cups of almond flour, 1/3 cup of monk fruit or erythritol, or whatever sweetener of your choice that you would like to use. If you do choose to use sugar, it is the same amount, 1/3 cup. Then we're going to add a pinch of salt, and we're going to mix that around gently. Okay. Now we're going to add in 1/4 cup of melted butter. So 1/2 of a stick, of butter. We're going to add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And 1 large egg. Okay, now we're just going to give that a mix. Once you get this all spread around in your pan, you're then going to go ahead and pop this in the oven on 325 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. You're not wanting to fully cook this crust. You only want it to get a light golden brown. And then we're going to let it sit while we make our pumpkin pie filling. I've went ahead and taken our pie shell out of the oven, and you can see it's got just a light golden brown around the edges and kind of lightly browned in the middle, but that's as much as we want to do at this time. All right, I've let these cool for about an hour. We're gonna go ahead and take the outer shell off, and we're gonna put the puree inside of a mixer. You can also use a food processor. It would probably puree it even better. I don't have a food processor, I just use my mixer, and then we're gonna add all the ingredients to finish making that filling. If you use a food processor, your puree is going to be a lot more pureed and there's not going to be any little strings whatsoever in it. If you use the mixer like I did, you are still going to have a couple of little strings attached, but honestly it really doesn't make a difference in your pie unless you absolutely don't want anything like that in your pie. I would recommend using the food processor. Let's go ahead and measure out and put those ingredients in for the pie filling. First, we're going to measure out 1 3/4 cup of puree. Or if you don't do it this way and you use a can of pumpkin mix, it's the same amount. 1 pumpkin should be more than enough to make 1 pie. And actually, it'll probably make 2 pies for you. So just depending on the size of the pie pumpkin that you buy or that you grow. Also, the reason why I cooked extra pie or extra pumpkins is so that maybe I'll make some pumpkin donuts. For the filling, we're going to go ahead and put in 1 3/4 cup of our pumpkin puree. Then we're going to add in 2 large eggs. We're going to add in 2/3 cup of sweetener. I'm using a monk fruit erythritol blend. You can use whatever sweetener of your choice that you prefer. And then I'm doing 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then a pinch of salt. And 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice, or whatever you like to your amount that you prefer. You could also use cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves. You could use all kinds of different seasonings to make it your own, but I'm just using pumpkin pie spice. And then what we're going to do is mix this around. The last step is to go ahead and pour our pumpkin filling into our pie pan, and we're going to bake for 40 minutes on 325 degrees. Now, a tip. If you do not want the edge of your crust to be darker brown and crispy, you want to go ahead and put some aluminum foil around it. But I just leave it as is. So let's go ahead and pour this in and get it in the oven. Y'all, that smells good and yummy. I can't wait. Dessert for tonight. Okay, y'all, the pumpkin pie is out of the oven. Oh my gosh, look how good that looks. And you're gonna know it's done because when you shake it, like I'm doing, it doesn't jiggle. So look for that. Know that your pie is ready by it's not jiggling when you try and move it. If you enjoyed this video today, please hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you subscribe to our channel as well as share our videos. And from Sweet Bailey Acres, have a blessed day.